Well, don't you feel better now? Joining us, Congressman Jim Jordan, ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, great to have you with us.
Good to be with you.
Let's just start with the basic question. Should you and the Senate, should the House and the Senate reauthorize those courts without reform?
No, of course not. Remember, just a report 2 months ago, Michael Horowitz talked about the fact that when the FBI went to the Fisa court, they lied to the court 17 times, misled the court 17 times, spied on a fellow American citizen. So to just reauthorize it makes no sense. Now, look, I appreciate the Attorney General. In fact, I think he's done a great job. But we cannot just reauthorize this. I think the president understands this. The American people understand it. Remember, they started spying on 4 American citizens in 2016 before President Trump was ever elected president. And they've been after him ever since. So this has to be reformed. We're pushing to make those reforms that we think are the kind that need to be there. The idea that you have to have a citizen advocate at this court actually representing the interest of the American citizen who's the target of the FISA warrant, we think that's just fundamental. So, yeah, we can't just reauthorize this. We got to make some changes.
And you're starting the markup, as I understand it, tomorrow.
Yeah, 2:30 tomorrow.
Why would every Republican not consider that these courts were a political weapon in the hands of the deep state and the radical Dems who control that House of Representatives, and that anything that they would support, which apparently is to reauthorize, of course, why would they want to strip themselves? Why would they want to disarm, for crying out loud?
Now, I think the House Republican Conference is strongly in favor of reforms to the court. You have to, if the process is abused, there has to be penalties for the FBI personnel who bring the FISA warrant. There has to be some mechanism in place so that, as I said, there's an advocate there for the individual who's the target, the American citizen who's the target of the FISA warrant. You have to have those things in place because, again, I go back to this fact. Look what happened in 2016. Remember, they went to the court and they didn't tell the court that the person who put together the dossier, Christopher Steele, was, quote, desperate to stop Trump. He had communicated that to the FBI and the Justice Department. They didn't convey that information to the court. They didn't convey to the court that Christopher Steele was being paid by the Clinton campaign. So those are sort of some fundamental things that we have to get straight before we go forward. We have to make changes to this. I think the American people understand that.
And is it your judgment that this reauthorization, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, they sound like they're big fans of, status quo. Let them roll with political corruption. We'll take everybody's word for it suddenly.
Well, look, we're going to have a big debate tomorrow in the House Judiciary Committee. We have some amendments that we want to put forward that we think accomplish the things I just talked to you about. Penalties in place, a citizen advocate, those kind of things. We'll see how those go in the hearing tomorrow. But I think also there's a number of senators who understand. You go back and talk to your constituents. They understand that we can't just reauthorize this. There have to be some changes. Now, there's some legitimate functions the FISA court does. We understand that. But we have to have the reforms in place, the changes in place that protect fundamental liberties. What happened to the president? I love what Emmett Flood said last spring in his letter to the Attorney General. He said, remember this, if they can do it to a president of the United States, imagine what they can do to you and I. And that's the fundamental issue. This double standard where, there's one set of rules if your name is McCabe and Comey and Strzok and Page and Clinton, but a different set of rules for us regular Americans, that cannot stand. And this is the first real opportunity. We have to fundamentally change things and protect basic liberty. That's what we got to make sure happens.
And the president has made it clear he does not want any future president to go through what he's gone through.
They shouldn't.
What he went through was made possible through that FISA court.
Well said. Well said.
Congressman, thank you so much for everything you do, and good luck.
You too, Lou. Thank you, brother.